I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that the title of tonight's show is A Light Among the Shadows. And that is because in the dark places where shadows lurk or secrets are kept, there can be a very revealing light right now, or that can reflect things that are hidden behind the scenes, and that may indicate a betrayal, or it may indicate the exposure of an impostor, or it may reveal a group or a ring of hidden enemies. And that is because there is a lot of light in the sign of Pisces, which rules things behind the scenes. And because the moon today in Pisces is exactly conjuncting the ruler of the sign, Neptune in Pisces, and it is retrograde, we can be seeing a lot of things that have been kept in the shadows. And that information, or that truth, can be coming out, and that can change things for all of us. And so that's because there are two overridingly powerful aspects going on at the same time. The first aspect that can be troublesome is that Venus in Gemini is opposing Saturn in Sagittarius, and that can indicate a betrayal. But since Venus is in Gemini, which rules two of everything, there might be two betrayals. They could be for the right reason. It could be that some people are deciding to sort of switch sides right now, and that is because they can be wanting more peace or better partnerships, or they're willing to compromise a little more than they have been in the past, and so they may decide to go along with some people that they had been in disagreement about and decide that there is some common ground, and that could indicate some sort of betrayal. But those two planets are also being harshly squared by the moon and Neptune today in Pisces. And for that reason, since a betrayal is indicated by the first aspect, but Pisces actually rules hidden enemies and deceptions and omissions, that is why under these harsh aspects, a light among the shadows can begin to reveal things that had been successfully hidden up until now. And that is what we better not be too surprised when secrets are revealed. And that is because there is a second overriding aspect that is occurring, and it is that today the Sun and Mars are both in Cancer, and they are closely conjuncting each other, and they are trining the Moon and Neptune in Pisces, which are also conjuncting each other. So these four planets, two in each of the water signs, are trining the third water sign, Scorpio. And Scorpio rules justice and survival. So what we may see is that through the revelation of secrets, or some light being reflected on things that are hidden, we can see that the end result may be justice and survival. So will mercy prevail at any time? No, I don't think so. I think that when you're finally learning the truth about something that had been successfully hidden, perhaps for a long time, then there has to be a way to turn that around and seek some justice about it. And I think that that is actually what will ultimately occur, because the four planets, two in Cancer and two in Pisces, involve the lights, the Sun and the Moon. And then Neptune is very powerful, it rules Pisces, and Mars is very powerful in Cancer because it's trining one of the signs that rules Scorpio. So a lot is riding on the element of justice and survival, because that will be the outcome of any truth that is hidden right now that is revealed by that light that can be in the shadows. there are some other aspects to consider as well, and one of them is that Venus in Gemini is beautifully trining Jupiter in Libra, and so there can be a lot of potential for more peace and better partnerships and better terms on legal contracts, and even an upholding of the law, because Venus rules Libra, where Jupiter is, and Libra does rule the law. So all of that can be quite hopeful. And then today, there is a grand trine in the fire signs, and that is because Mercury in Leo is trining Saturn in Sagittarius, and together those two planets are trining Uranus in Aries. And so that simply means through swift communication and some sudden surprising change, a stalled matter could move forward very swiftly at last. Something could finally just get going, and that could be because of better communication and a sense of urgency as well. All right, what does this idea of a light among the shadows mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, I think that you will be affected by what can be going on in the background of your life, and that is because the moon now is conjuncting Neptune in Pisces right behind your sun sign, and the moon is a lot of light. So if there's been anything that you've been kidding yourself about, or maybe just sort of hiding and not wanting to admit or acknowledge, that could be showing up right now, and you may have to face that. But at the same time, you can be challenged sorely now by some pressure that has been building in your life, and that is because this is the middle of July now, and Mars, your own ruler, along with the Sun in Cancer, are almost precisely squaring Uranus in your sign, Aries. And Mars is one malefic planet and Uranus is the other, so there can be a very sudden upset due to pressure from other people, there could be things that are not in your control that are sort of building up to a breaking point right now, and you will have to deal with them because Pluto in Capricorn is also squaring your Sun, and Jupiter in Libra, which is very well aspected now, is opposing your sun sign where you have Uranus. So I think push is just about to come to shove, Aries, and there could be a problem with a home matter or a real estate matter or something to do with family members. There could be a change in a partnership or legal terms. There could be budget cuts or changes in management. And there can just be some real emotional outbursts that might surprise you, or a revelation behind the scenes that does finally come out now. And so this is a very dangerous aspect that is occurring, Aries, between Uranus and Mars, because it's so exact now. And that is why, if I were you, I would try to be as cautious as possible in this next week. And you shouldn't be surprised if something is uncovered or revealed. And it might turn out to be a blessing in disguise, but I think the truth about something is going to come out now. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, there aren't any planets in your sign or in any of the other fixed signs, except Mercury is now in Leo and it is squaring your sun sign. And that simply means that there can be some challenging news about children or sports or love affairs or the entertainment world, because those are all the things that Leo rules. And you may have to sort of cough up a little extra money right now for the expenses of your loved ones, Taurus, but you're awfully good at providing for your loved ones. After all, your sign is ruled by Venus, and your ruler is in Gemini right ahead of your sun sign. And Gemini is a restless sign, and it involves short journeys and short forms of education, and it depicts youth and buying and selling, and you might be involved in all of that, Taurus. You might be moving to a little different neighborhood, or you could be involved with others in some summer fun right now, and so I think that that is just fine. The planets in Pisces are actually sextiling your sun, and the planets in Cancer are also sextiling your sun. So I think that if there is some light coming out that is illuminating a betrayal or some hidden enemies. I think that it can be sort of an eye-opener for you, but I don't think you'll be hurt by that, Taurus. So I hope you do have a good summer. You have been going through a sort of a good run right now. And I think that you can continue that, but you should be, you should take a little time out for summer fun. But if I were you, I'd keep working because, you know, those loved ones need things. All right, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, Venus is in your sign. That is just wonderful because it's trining Jupiter in Libra, and that simply means the potential for you to get along better with other people and to be very popular is rather high. And also, people can be seeking you out in partnership, or you would certainly have the law on your side, and that could be backing you up in your activities or your decisions. Okay, so all of that's to the good, Gemini. But remember, I mentioned that there's an overriding powerful aspect right now which involves Venus in your sign, Gemini, opposing Saturn in Sagittarius, and that is an indication of a betrayal. Certainly a betrayal that could involve people switching sides, or it could involve you switching sides, Gemini. In other words, maybe deciding to go in a little different direction, or maybe trying something out, or buying and selling. And so it can be that you're on the move a little bit right now. And if you have to sort of switch sides, or there is some sort of betrayal, it might be because you want to leave the old for the new. And this is a sort of a good time to consider that, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is a time when I think that you have a choice. And the reason why is that the Sun is conjuncting Mars in your sign, and it is making a very harsh aspect since your sign is a cardinal sign. It is squaring Uranus in Aries, it's squaring Jupiter in Libra, and it's opposing, those two planets are opposing Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, so you could be very angry about something right now. It might involve an injustice, or you could be angry because there are things out of your control that are sort of going against you right now, and so you could be feeling very frustrated. Or, Cancer, because that Sun and Mars are trining the Moon and Neptune today in Pisces, and together those four planets are trining Scorpio, the sign of justice and survival. You are one person that could go behind the scenes right now, and you could really help uncover the truth about something. And with that discovery of hidden enemies or some sort of evil activity that can come out into the light right now, you are the one that could help promote justice and survival and do a good job of that. So try to keep your emotions under control, Cancer, because you have the potential to really do good right now. It might be behind the scenes, and you have many friends that people are not aware of that you could go to learn the truth about something. And so I think I would suggest that you spend your anger energy on something constructive that can bring about something good instead. Try to go that route. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, remember I said there are 3 planets in the fire signs, and that's creating a grand trine in fire signs, which can promote swift communication that could change things, or it may bring about a stalled matter and get it underway at last, which could be great. So you may be the catalyst that is doing an awful lot of communicating right now, and that can work wonders for other people that have just not been able to go forward. Maybe it's your information or your good ideas that can really feed into other people's goals and help them get going, because Mercury in your sign is trining Uranus in Aries, and it's also trining Saturn in Sagittarius. So you could help sort of give a boost to some people who need it. And you could also connect quite suddenly with other people who have brilliant ideas, and you could help them in one way or another. So that is really great. There are no planets in the other fixed signs to offer stiff resistance to you, Leo. So that I think that you're going to sort of come into your own and be very, very busy. At the same time, the Sun and Mars are in Cancer right behind your sun sign, and that means there can be trouble brewing in the background of your life, and there's light on that right now because the Sun is involved, and that simply means that you could be a victim of jealousy, or it can simply be that there can be a family matter or a real estate matter, or even a matter that somehow involves our country that could present a challenge or trouble for you, Leo. And so try not to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and do stay away from over-emotional people if you can. It's just that I think you're going to be coming into a busy time right now, so good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when you have to be very, very careful. And the reason why is that yours is a mutable sign. And there are planets in all the other mutable signs, and they're all harshly aspecting yours. And that is because Venus in Gemini is squaring your Sun. And so that simply means other people are pretty anxious to get going on things, and they could do it with or without you right now. Or there can be short trips or short forms of communication, or people with just too many plans and not enough logic applied to them. That can be frustrating for you. But also Saturn in Sagittarius is squaring your Sun, and that can indicate that some people can be very unhappy about being left behind. Or it can be that they have been betrayed and they're looking for somebody to blame, and they might blame you, Virgo, even though it's not your fault at all. And then today, the Moon and Neptune, which are conjuncting each other and are very powerful because of that, are both opposing your sun sign. So you really don't know who to trust right now, Virgo. And there is somebody around who really has not been telling you the truth. And the way that they have gotten away with that is that they have been successfully hiding something. And now that there is light among the shadows, you may be able to see somebody who really is quite a phony, somebody that you didn't think was at all. And so this is why you need to be careful. This is not a time for you to go around thinking you can trust everybody, and you sure can't afford to be looking at people with rose-colored glasses on, because you would not be seeing them the way they really are. So keep your guard way up this week, Virgo, and try not to believe anything that anybody else is saying. Use your own fine mind and keep it on details and facts, which you're very good at. So this is a good time to sort of mind your own business, Virgo. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time with Venus in Gemini trining Jupiter in your sign, when the potential for a lot more happiness is certainly possible. In fact, that is growing. Remember, I always said this year that you would have a great summer, or that you would end the summer well, and you're going to, Libra. And yet, yours is a cardinal sign. And so although there can be a lot of people attracted to you right now, and you can be very involved in communication and buying and selling and promoting things, all the things that Gemini rules, and that can work out favorably for you, at the same time, the Moon and, Pluto in Capricorn is squaring your Sun. The Sun and Mars in Cancer are also squaring your Sun, which can indicate a lot of turmoil or even arguments about a family matter or the home or real estate or something even that involves your country. And so that can be a little problematic. And then Uranus is opposing your sun sign. So you still have a lot of things to look out for, which can be very unexpected. But you have a lot better support around you now, Libra, and you can be very popular with young people. And so I think things are looking up. And remember, you can sort of delegate some things. You could get good helpers right now that could really sort of ease your burdens if you wanted to. They would be around and quite happy to help you. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, you are really going to benefit from the fact that there are 4 powerful planets all trining your sun sign. And that is because the Sun and Mars, your own ruler in Cancer, are trining your Sun, and so are the Moon and Neptune in Pisces. So if you wanted to make a dream come true, you'd get a lot of help with that. And also, people who could be overwrought emotionally are not mad at you, Scorpio, And in fact, they can use their pent-up anger or the penetrating force of an emotional outburst right now to go ahead and shine light on hidden enemies or evil activities behind the scenes and somehow bring about justice and survival, which is what your sign rules. So you may be involved in that. And if you're not involved in it and you're only a bystander, you could certainly approve of what is going on right now, because as the truth comes out about something that had been evil or hidden or involving a betrayal, it's when the truth comes out that we can all deal with it and then get over it or heal. And all the water signs do rule healing. So this is a time that is going to be very good for you. Even if it's just involving a home or family matter, it should work out rather well for you. So congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, you may be the victim of a betrayal right now, or possibly two, because Venus in Gemini is opposing Saturn in your own sign, and that is an indication of a betrayal. What form could it take? It may be that some people are deciding to switch sides and move on. And it can be because they are restless and they just want some sort of change, and they are not quite as set on maintaining the status quo as you are. However, there is a grand trine in fire signs now, and that is because Mercury in Leo is trining your sun. You can get a lot more communication from people who are very courageous and quite willing to take chances on things. And that may sort of light a fire under you and get you going, Sagittarius. And then Uranus in Aries is also trining your sun. So there can still be some unique new opportunity that you may hear about or be able to take advantage of. And so I think it's all right if some people leave your life, because I think you're reaching a point where you're open to trying something new yourself. So it might be you that's moving on eventually, Sagittarius. So I think change is in the air, and something might look like a betrayal, but if it's being done for the right reasons, it should work out as a benefit to you as well. So I hope it does. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when you have to be very, very careful with the money, and that is because other people can want to get their hands on that. And so this is not a time for you to be spending a lot of money, and it is not a time even for you to be talking about it. And the reason why is that Pluto is in your sign, and it is being very strongly opposed by the Sun and Mars in Cancer. And Cancer rules the home and the family and real estate, and there can be some sort of family matter that involves a financial situation that could be troublesome or challenging right now. And there can be even family members around that want you to pay for something. This is not the time to do that, but they could be sort of bugging you about that, Capricorn. Or there could even be the uncovering of some sort of fraud or deception around, and that you should pay attention to that, because that might help give you the real truth about a situation, and that's what you should try to aim for right now. The full moon, the moon and Neptune in Pisces do sextile your sun. So a light among the shadows that reveals a hidden enemy or the hidden truth about an evil activity when that comes out, that will tend to benefit you, which is good. But in the meantime, you need to stay away from people who are quite capable of emotional outbursts that are all emotion or all passion, and there's not a lot of good reasoning behind it, so you should try to avoid them and try to lead a very quiet life this week if you can, Capricorn. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, it's wonderful for you that Venus in Gemini and Jupiter in Libra are both trining your sun sign, because it does make you very popular, and it can mean that if you're looking for new relationships, some very nice ones are around. And nice people can be heading your way, Aquarius, and that can certainly perk you up and give you a lot of bright prospects for your future, which is good. This is not a good time for you to take a gamble on anything, though. So I would check the facts out first, Aquarius. And the reason why is that Mercury in Leo is opposing your sun sign. And there is a lunar eclipse that's coming up in your sign on August 7th. And so there will be some change for you this year, Aquarius. But you're under very good aspects right now. And so if you're looking for some kind of change, this is a good time to look for that. But don't take a gamble on anything because you could follow misleading news, and then that could be disappointing for you. So right now you have a chance to make some new friends, and I think you should do that because they'd be very nice people and they'd be helpful to you. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when it's going to be a little bit boom or bust, and that is because the two overriding aspects this week affect your sun sign, both of them. One is very promising, and the other is somewhat punishing. And so let's take the bad one first, Pisces. Venus is opposing Saturn in Sagittarius, and both of those planets are squaring the Moon and Neptune in your sign. And that simply means is you will be involved in some sort of a betrayal. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's happening to you, but you will feel it in one way or another. And that's why I think it's happening pretty close around you, Pisces. And it can involve people that are deciding to sort of move on. Well, let's turn that around. What if it was you that was deciding to move on, Pisces? Then that's entirely possible. You'd have to state your case very clearly, though, because there's so much light in your sign that if you've been trying to hide anything, it really is going to come out now, and you'll have to face it. But the other aspect, which can be quite promising, is that the Sun and Mars in Cancer are trining the Moon and Neptune in your sign. And that means that even if there can be some trouble at home or tension in a family matter or in a real estate issue, I think that if you look harder for the facts and are willing to admit the truth, you could do okay with all of that. In other words, you could turn a family or a home or a real estate matter around and bring out a little bit more truth, and that could promote justice. And I think then you would be doing a good turn, either for yourself or someone else. And so you have that possibility to look forward to as well, and I hope that's the path you take. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, you can see the show anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.